three things, if I could say. One, get your taxes right. Today, a car pays less tax than a bus does.
And it should be the other way around.
And it should be the other way around. It's much more fuel efficient. It uses less space. It's much better for the environment. It provides access or mobility to a large number of people. Second is, make sure that you restructure your bus agencies, because your biggest challenge today is your bus agencies are inefficient. Focus on it. Spend money on it. Spend time on it. Third, let the politicians believe that this is the big ticket answer for India. That is not the Aam Aadmi which will drive a car. The Aam Aadmi will be most benefited when you improve public transport.
The third perhaps is the most difficult, because that's really where the mindset change you talked about a moment ago comes into play.
Exactly.
How do you convince politicians that not just the future of India, but rewards for them in their careers lie in tackling the traffic problem of all Indian cities? How do you convince them?
I think you convince them by the sheer logic of what's happening around you. Let's be very clear. Which politician can take pride of building a flyover today? Which politician can say that they've done something for the country when large numbers of their own city people don't even have the money to take a bus or actually bicycle to work?
Can I drop and say why I'm skeptical politicians will actually respond the way you want? Because most politicians don't suffer from traffic problems. Ministers, the Prime Minister, the President drive through with convoys. The road is stopped for them. The traffic is cleared. You and I stand and suffer. They just sail past. They probably have no idea what traffic congestion means.
No, undoubtedly. And the tragedy of India is the tragedy of New Delhi in some senses, because it is an India which is not an India. I mean, Lutyens Delhi, or Luton's Delhi, as you may want to call it, is one place in the world which will never have a traffic jam. But I think there is much more to this, Karan. I think my question is also to industry. Which Indian industrialist who has stood in front of their fanciest of cars has ever come out to you and said, I will make the cheapest, most affordable, most convenient bus, and I will stand in front of it and I will tell all of India that this is the way for mobility.
So you're saying to Ratan Tata, it's not the nano car India needs, although many Indians do need it,
Absolutely.
And it's a boon, but what India needs is the nano equivalent of the bus.
Well, he's also in the bus business, and I think he can be all our heroes if he was to now put his attention into making that bus which will drive not just a small part of India and will create all the congestion and the pollution, but will drive large parts of India and will do so at least risk to our health.
So you're saying to Ratan Tata today, I appreciate the nano car, but I would value you much more. I'd consider you a much bigger hero if you produced the nano bus that would make public mobility cheaply possible and environmentally friendly for hundreds of millions, not just tens of millions.
And I will add to it, in the most convenient way. I want to make sure that that bus breaks all barriers of class. You do not want a bus which is a rickety, dirty bus which is not air conditioned.
The best
you
possible.
want the best possible bus. You want it to be efficient. You want to make sure that your city can do this in a way that no other city in the world other than Singapore.
Ratan Tata might not have caused you sleepless nights. Maybe what you're saying today is going to cause him a little loss of sleep himself. But let me end by putting it like this. Ratan Tata has made the people's car possible for tens, maybe hundreds of millions of Indians. But those people are not going to be able to use the people's car without needless suffering and pain unless the government responds and manages the situation. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, but I think also if we as Indians start having pride in thinking that we can do things differently, large part of India will not drive the car, they will drive the bus.
Very quickly, because we have just 10 seconds, are you an optimist that the government will bite this bullet, or are you a pessimist?
Oh, I'm absolutely an optimist, Karan. I believe the crisis is too big. We will have to find the answers. There is no doubt in my mind.
Sunita Narain, a pleasure talking to you on Devil's
Thank you,
Advocate.
Karan.